From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Good morning and welcome to the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, sponsored by Resorts Day International, Salvation Army, Smith's Food and Drug, George L. Stewart for insurance you don't have to die to collect, Tony May, attorney at law, and let's see, who else do we have here today? We have Chef Michael. Hi, Chef Michael. How are you? Hi. Okay, what's the matter, Chef Michael? Come on, that's not you.
Well, yesterday we had a great time. We went to the Grossos, our friends, and we had a phenomenal barbecue, which I really enjoyed. It was great food, great fun, and I had a great time. I said, "Where's Carl? Where's my buddy at?" And nobody could find him. We were out of the pool. We looked around. He's in his room counting his money. I said, "Will you stop, Carl, please? You're going nowhere." No, I'm only kidding. But we had a great time. I hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day, because we got what a show we got lined up today.
Oh yeah, we've got some great guests. We've got Joey Doucette, choreographer with Doucette Entertainment.
Hello, how you doing?
How are you this morning?
Doing well, thank you.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Yeah, good. All right, and then we also have Dean Whitaker, one of the most celebrated servicemen held as a prisoner during World War II. Oh my gosh, and you're getting ready to celebrate your 90th birthday. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning. I'm sure glad that I'm here.
Yeah, so are we. Now, did you have a good weekend? I hear you were pretty busy.
Yes, I had a pretty good weekend. I got my flag at half-mast, and this time of year is kind of hard on me.
Tell them why your flag was at half-mast. Go ahead and tell them, Dean.
Flag on half-mast because I lost 5 of my crew members over Germany.
Okay, so that's a
Yeah.
that's a lot to deal with, and
He's a
you know,
celebrated war hero, major
right.
person.
That's right.
Yes.
And so, did you have family with you this weekend?
Yes, I was lucky. I had my one son from Park City with his 2 boys, and they really enjoyed swimming in the pool. Change from Park City.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? Yeah, that's
Right.
good. Well, if you're tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, and we are live on KLAV weekdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. You can also tune in midnight Monday through Friday on KLAV and 10 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We always feature Cooking with Chef Michael, authentic South Philadelphia style recipes, and interviews with Las Vegas legendary performers, artists, authors, and celebrities, including Jon Stewart, creator, founder, and producer of Legends in Concert, who is sitting right here to my left. Hi, John. How are you?
Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Chef Michael.
Good morning, my dear paisan and friend.
Yeah,
How
hope
are you?
I'm very good today. Hope you cook something up for us.
Yes, I am. I'm going to cook a lot of nice things.
You know, we all had a great weekend. Like you said, we had a wonderful party over at the Grossos. And, you know, in all of our celebration and stuff, we did all take a moment to remember what we were celebrating this weekend, you know, and to be appreciative for all that we have because of the servicemen that have fought for us, and women that have fought for us throughout the years, you know, to keep us safe and to fight for our liberties and to give us the opportunities to swim in the pool and enjoy our days, right, Dean?
Correct, yeah.
And I talked to Dean earlier today, honey, when he was outside, and I says, you know, you're a walking history book, because he's 89 years old, and it's amazing because the music
And here's the book.
that you lived, the music that you lived, the Tommy Dorsey, Tex Benege, you know, Artie Shaw, because if I can go back in time, I'm 62, but if I can go back, if I can get this room, and this is a time machine, and I would have to finish out my life, whatever time God leaves me on this earth, I would want to go back to 1946, 1945, right after the war. I would like to go back because that's the era that I happen to love, is that particular era, that music, that style, and I was very fortunate to come to Vegas in '74 and caught the tail end of what Las Vegas really used to be, that music, that swing. You know what I mean? The music is good today, but nothing like our, when I say our day, you know what I mean? And it's a blessing to have you here. And Sandy and I, we're very, very honored. You know what I mean? Because like once you go, believe me, my dear friend, your book.
That's a lot of history.
A lot of history,
That's
and you're
right.
still walking around, which is great. And it's a blessing that you did. And I know she got a little emotional, got a little choked up when you talked about the guys, and it's okay.
I do that.
It's okay. You must be Italian in some way. I don't know,
Yeah.
because Italian people, we're very emotional. Joe's Italian. He's a dancer. Are you Italian? No.
French.
Are you French? Parlez-vous français?
No, I speak Spanish.
Really.
You just think we're all Italian. That's all, because we all love Italian food.
Well,
Yeah.
we got John Montello calling in with a great charity. I know I'm giving him a shout out. That's what that was. So he's trying to give us a little. So Johnny, we love you, buddy. We know you're out there, and you know what you know. We're the #1 show in Las Vegas. We're the #1 radio show in Las Vegas. Nobody can beat us. And now we're going to go with an extra half hour. We're going to go from 9 to 10:30 because that lady in the bathroom, she keeps every time we're on, she runs to the bathroom. So sooner or later, that lady's going to come out and she's going to call so I can tell her Italian recipe. Yes, sweetheart. What can I do?
Did you get that confirmed yet?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I
We'll get it
don't care if
confirmed.
not. I'll buy the time. It don't make no difference to me. What are you looking at, Tim? Don't let me punch you right in your nose.
That's Tim Bowman, and he
best.
is a great fighter that's got a fight coming up in August, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And then we also have in the house, we have Rhett Nielsen. Hi, Rhett. How you doing?
Oh,
I don't see
cameraman.
our screen here. Gosh, we can't see ourselves back on the TV today.
Thank you very much, Brett. Brett, you're okay, buddy. He wanted to ask me something. honey.
Well, too
Yeah,
bad.
no, I want to make a comment. Him talking about the music here. I used to come here from Laguna Beach. I was a building contractor there, and my wife and I enjoyed it here. We heard the best music we had ever heard, like he's talking about, all the big bands.
That's
this
right.
was in 1960, I believe. And we go to dinner here in the show for $6.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
And
gosh. Those are the
It
days.
was a complete show. Everybody I remember Dean Martin and that. When he come on, he'd come running from the bar and just get on the stage. It was quite a thrill to come here in the old days and listen to the good music, pure music.
Well, that's great, Dean. Now, did you have a favorite Italian restaurant that you went to back
No,
then?
we mostly ate at the casinos.
Oh, at the
Or
casinos.
yeah.
Well, they had so many great restaurants, and they
They
still
did.
do today.
You like Italian food?
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite dish?
Well, I'll tell you, recently I've been having a lot of spaghetti with meat sauce because it's easy to chew. I had lost a tooth up here, and
That's because he fell head first in his driveway, right?
yeah. I
Well,
did
you
a
have to take your
boo-boo.
money butt off, buddy, when you walk up your...
Yeah, I did. But Italian food is very good.
So you like the spaghetti and meat sauce?
Yeah.
Now, do you just like get it out of the can, or you make it fresh? I mean, how do you do it?
Marie Callender's.
Marie Callender's?
Yeah.
Oh.
she
See,
has
that's
good.
what, you know, believe it or not, I'm not gonna, the people that support Italian restaurants are not Italian people.
Yeah.
They're not. And the people that support Chinese food, if you look at take a look at the audience when you go eat Chinese food or you eat sushi bars. It's American people that really enjoy that, and it's a blessing. You know, there's a feast that they have here once a year, and we go there, and if you look at the clientele of people and the demographics of the age limit that go there, it's people that like Italian food. The #1 food that every nationality buys is, you ready for this? Pizza. Pizza. You believe that?
Sure, I believe it.
Right, 731-1230. Call in and you get some beautiful show tickets. I know everybody's hungover from yesterday, but today is Tuesday, and I'm feeling great. I was told to say that.
Well, you know, Chef Michael, I know you always start us off with some great recipe. What is your great recipe going to be today?
Well, let me see. I always like to do something simple. Simple is easy, okay? And I'm a firm believer. So there's a dish called pasta pizzelle. Now, pizzelle in Italian means peas. Now, this is what you do. You get your onion and your garlic, and you fry it naturally. That's the basics. You go get the Jolly Green Giant. Green Giant. Yeah. And you open up 2 cans of peas, ladies and gentlemen, with the juice, and throw them in there. And then get yourself a little can of the diced tomatoes, the stewed tomatoes in the can. Throw that in there. Add salt, pepper, parsley, garlic. That's it. And then let it cook for 15 minutes, and then you boil Ditalina pasta. The Ditalina is, they have it at Smith's down aisle 2. It's the small little baby pastas. They're adorable. They look like rigatonis, but real small. And you boil that, and it's a pasta basil dish. It's a peasant dish. When we were kids, it was stuff that wasn't expensive, because I came from a family of 27. My father was married 14 times. No, I'm only teasing you. And what happened is, it's a very simple dish, and it's really great. So it's called pasta pizzelle, Okay, and you can always go leonettymarketing@gmail.com, and I will be happy to send you the recipe. These are recipes that are very simple to make. And again, if you go on YouTube, Sandy and I just did a beautiful television show for Smith's. It's called Shopping at Smith's. Let me say it again, Shopping at Smith's, and you will see my handsome smile and Sandy's beautiful face and the dimple in my chin that cost me $4,200 32 years ago to put in. Tim, don't let me jump over this thing because we're going to fight right now.
So that's great. So now if anybody wants to call in, 702-731-1230, that's 702-731-1230. You can ask Chef Michael about a recipe, and you can win some free show tickets. We've got all kinds of shows.
And
We've
John,
got,
tell everybody what we have.
What we have, as far as shows go, we have the Country Superstars over
yeah.
at Planet Hollywood. We have Rock Vault over at the LVH, which used to be the Hilton. And that's every night at 8 o'clock except Wednesday and Thursday. We have Mark Savard over at Planet Hollywood. We have the Beatles at Planet Hollywood. We have Recycled Percussion over at the Quad. We have the Divas over at the Quad. We have all kinds of great shows. They're all an average of between $80 to $110. So we'd love it. We even can get you into Rock of Ages now.
Rock of Ages.
Oh my gosh.
Rock of Ages. Hey, give me a husband audience. Hear the audience.
Things
Go
are
crazy.
moving, and we can get you into Pandas now. Pandas, the big show from Japan at the Venetian.
And they,
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've been working.
listen to this, what we're doing here. Listen to what we're doing. You cannot get a comp in Las Vegas if you spend $200,000 in a casino. Them days are gone.
I know they stopped doing
You
that.
pick up the phone, you dial 731-1230, and you get show tickets. Because you know you got friends that are going to come in from out of town, and then you want to go see a show, and then you know where to go take them at. We got the show tickets. And you know what's funny? Sandy and I, we made a phone call yesterday. We personally been calling you to get your information.
That's right.
And the lady said, I said, do you know who this is? She said, are you Chef Michael? I said, yeah. I said, you the lady in the bathroom? She said, no.
However, I want to tell you this. If you have arms as big as Tim, you can kind of get anything you want.
Well,
You don't wanna
Tim's a
push
great.
your way in.
I can't wait to see you fight, Tim. We're counting on you.
Well, what's great about it is we're going to have a lot of these artists on our show too.
That's right.
Yeah, from
Right.
all these shows,
All
so
these
that you'll be
shows, a
able
lot
to
of them.
learn a little bit more about
I'm
them.
going to have Earl Turner coming on the show.
Oh, great!
Oh my God!
great.
Listen, because we got to go to break. Jeff Savilico and Mark Savar, got to have them kids here.
Yeah, they wanna come
that-
on together,
in fact,
right.
That's either this week or next week. For
Right,
sure.
right.
Yeah, talk to Steven. Steven's the guy that's setting it up for me.
Good.
That's right.
Hello, Steve. We love you, buddy.
Well, if-
Okay. Now where we at?
Where are we at here?
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, sponsored by Resort Stay International, Salvation Army, Smith's Food and Drug, George L. Stewart for insurance you don't have to die to collect, Tony May, attorney at law. And we will be right back after a message from our sponsors.
I have often walked down the street before, but the payments never stay. I feel like singing today.
How did you get started in the entertainment business?
Well, I used to just watch in the early days, the Shirley MacLaine TV shows, the
I
variety
love
shows,
Shirley MacLaine,
and,
yes.
Aunt Margaret variety shows. And I said, I want to do that. I want to get on there and perform. So I learned how to dance, and then I went to New York, got a full scholarship at Joffrey Ballet.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
then
not easy to do.
Oh no.
Oh.
And then I went on to a jazz school called Luigi's Jazz School. It's a jazz center in New York City.
Uh-huh.
He's the original jazz technique, and that's what we all learned.
Jazz dance.
Jazz
Right,
dance,
right.
yes. And I went from there, and then I started doing shows all over the world, dancing everywhere. And then from there, went on to choreography and directing.
So now, you know Angelo over at Backstage Dance Studio?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I work, that's where I go to dance
Oh,
classes.
great.
As a matter of fact, he's recovering. He just had he had to go in, for a procedure for
Oh,
the,
yeah.
what do you call that?
The hip?
No. The, what's that thing? Oh my gosh. Anyway, he's recovering. And so he says it's really, it's something like that. Something that's going to
Prostate?
burst. I
Something.
can't think.
Yeah.
The appendix, thank you.
Oh.
Appendix, he had appendicitis and he went in and got that treated. And so he's been recovering, and of course for him to not be able to dance and be at the
Yeah.
dance class, and have to have somebody else teaching the class, it's really hard for him to sit there,
It's hard to sit down.
But he worked with Juliet Prowse, he worked with Shirley MacLaine,
Yeah.
and he's just fabulous. In fact, we did the Choice for Tots thing, and he and Mark were my dancers,
Oh,
which
wonderful.
is a rare treat because they don't do that for anybody. But so you were a dancer, and then you got into now you do designing of costumes
Yes.
because of the shows, I guess, that you were doing.
Because of the
and-
shows I was doing a lot of TV down in Mexico. I was doing
Right.
14 years of television down there. And I worked with every Latin American star that you could name. From Ricky Martin to Olga Briskin to Lucia Mendez.
How about Dolores Del Rio?
I met her.
How about Rita Moreno?
I met her.
That's great. That's great. And I worked with Enrique Lugo. I don't know if you know
Oh, Enrique, yeah, he used to dance for me.
Yeah, he did a show with me in 1998. We did this video. That's a video you saw at the house, remember?
great. Yeah, that's
Yeah, we
beautiful.
did it. Yeah, and that was a
I
TV
did-
show that we
the
did.
same since.
I dated
Yeah.
his sister.
Yeah.
I
And
dated
I
Enrique's
think we
sister.
have a caller
Yes,
on
we
the phone.
do.
Yes, who's the caller?
Who's calling, everybody? Who's out there? Hello?
John Montello.
Oh, Johnny.
You son of a... Hiya, John. Hiya, buddy. Well,
Hey,
John...
I got a question for you, Chef Mike.
Yeah, buddy.
How come Johnny Stewart gets all the free food? You know I love linguine with white clam sauce.
Right.
You were supposed to make me some of that, but it's Johnny Stewart's eating it all.
Well, Johnny Stewart's looking for that freebie, and that's why he's always over the house. No, I'm only kidding. Listen, I'm glad that you called.
We all get to eat for free.
I'm glad that you called
With Chef
because
Michael.
you got a wonderful charity, and take a moment, for a minute, and please explain to our audience that's out there, because we got almost 90,000 listeners now. Tell them, Johnny, what you're about and what happened to your dad.
Well, I'm the affiliate leader for the Huntington's Disease Society of America Las Vegas affiliate. And Huntington's disease is part of the Cleveland Clinic Blue Ruvo Center downtown by the Smith Center.
That's right.
All the research and care is done there for patient care. And basically, it's difficult to explain, but Huntington's disease is a inherited brain disorder. Basically, what happens is the disease causes a breakdown of cells in the brain, and you wind up losing pretty much all your functions and wind up your last 6-7 years in a nursing home. You can't talk, you can't swallow. It's the worst of Huntington's disease has like the Parkinson's disease, where the shaking and the excessive movement, but you also get the psychiatric disorders like bipolar, manic depressive. So it's kind of the worst of all. It's not a real well-known disease, but now it's categorized with Alzheimer's and dementia at the clinic, along with Parkinson's disease.
Wow. Well, John, you know what we got to do? We got to have you on the show. We have to have you on the show as one of our guests so we can tell a little bit more about it. But we love you, and I thank you so much for calling, John. And for calling, believe it or not, we have some free show tickets.
All right.
For you. I'm coming up. I'm coming up.
I want some show tickets to Johnny Stewart's show.
There you
All right,
go.
you're going to get it.
You're going to get it. But
That's coming soon.
That's coming soon. John and I are working on a show right now with Richard Brackley called The Dance of the Seven Virgins. And Al Rodriguez is going to come out in a tutu.
So far, we haven't even found one virgin.
That's
gosh,
the problem.
you
But
guys.
anyway, Johnny, we love you. I'm going to come up and see you right after the show. I'm coming up. I know you'll be at the office. And
guys,
I have a present for you. Sandy and I have a present. And John, we love you. And I want to say this publicly. I'm no longer with the organization. I retired from the timesharing because I'm concentrating on our television show and here and other things that we're doing. And I love you guys. I will never forget what you guys have done for me. And it was such a pleasure to work for your organization all those years. And you'll always have a special place in my heart. And you'll always see me at least once a month come up. And John, love to take you to dinner. God bless you, Johnny.
Thanks
Thank
a lot,
you
John.
for calling.
See you,
we'll
Johnny.
see you. We'll
It's
see you
Johnny
about 10
Stewart.
o'clock. See you
Love
later,
you,
buddy.
Johnny.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Ain't that nice? What a wonderful
I know,
name.
that's great. That's
Well,
great.
I could cry.
Well, that organization is really great. They're doing a lot to help. And, I know that, Dean, you've been around for a long time. Like you're 89 years old. You're getting ready to have your birthday. You were a war hero. You've been married 68 years.
Correct. Yeah, it's the same woman too.
Now, how was it for her when when you were gone and she was at home waiting for you to come home?
We were both in high school. We're
Uh-huh.
young guys, kids, and she had a boyfriend that was a aerial gunner,
Uh-huh.
and he was shot down and killed over in Germany.
Oh,
so
gosh.
she was there, kind of waiting. to see what was going on. When I came home, we go to the same church, and I went to church and met her, and we just hit it off right away, and we were just married just shortly when we were both 21, and have enjoyed marriage so much ever since.
That's wonderful.
That's great. And you have a lot of kids?
We have 2 boys. I was in business in Laguna Beach for 25 years, and we moved to Las Vegas because I love to fish the lake and explore, and it was not foggy like it was in Southern California.
Well, so if you want to share a story with us. I know you've got a lot of stories, and you were just talking over the weekend about some of the stories that you have. I'm sure you've experienced so many different things. What is one story you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, it's so happy here. I kind of hate to tell my sad stories.
Well, let me say this to you, because we want to get you right in. I'm looking at your picture. You are a handsome guy. You're a good looking. You look like, what's his name? Douglas Fairbanks.
Uh-huh.
And then I want to give you a trivia question. In the war, when everybody left, the Mills brothers had a hit record on a 45. They had 2 hit records on the same 45. Here's a trivia question. Which one is it, Dean? You should know it, because I'm going to sing it to you. The Mills brothers.
I knew them really good,
Okay.
but my memory has faded a little bit.
All right, well, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a little paper.
Moon.
No, you're too young. Be quiet. Paper
doll.
That's it. And on the flip side was Till Then, My Darling, Please Wait For Me. Till Then.
Yeah.
They were am I right? Were they the songs? I get the chills just talking about. They were songs, boy. But let's sing it, honey. Till then, my darling.
I don't know if that was before my time, honey.
Till then, that's before my time. But the songs had so much meaning. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you make a meatball, it's so much meaning when you forget about it.
Hey, Dean, tell them when you were captured. Tell them the story when you were captured and how all that
We just
went.
lost the show to Johnny Stewart. What happened?
Yeah, okay.
Well, he was-
All right, to get serious, I was a 18-year-old when I went into service, and I had my 19th birthday shortly after I got over to England, and so all of these events happened when I was 19. A young guy, and that was known as the greatest generation, and I believe it. To start with, we were flying over Germany mostly, and on the first mission we bombed ahead of the troops that were trying to make some headway after D-Day. And General Patton was bogged down there, and they called on us, the Air Force, to come in at a low altitude to ensure that we didn't bomb our own troops.
Yeah.
And so instead of the usual 30,000 feet, we went in at 15,000 feet, and we had got the heck shot out of us because of the German troops below us. You could see the flashes of their guns, which you couldn't do usually. But our plane got hit real bad. 2 engines shot out, and every time it got hit, you could smell the flak was red hot, and you could smell the hit. So no doubt. But we made it back to the base on 2 engines. I was up in front as a navigator, and the hydraulic line got hit, and the hydraulic fluid is red, and the lieutenant up with me thought he was shot. He had this red all over him. He said, "Oh my God, I was shot," and I had my eyes were filled with plexiglass because the nose was shot out, and I couldn't see a thing, and
Wow.
it was very painful. And so when we landed, they took me to the hospital, cleaned my eyes out, and I was off flying duty for a few days, and I was back flying in about a week. And for this, 60 years later, I got the Purple Heart.
60 years later. That's a little late.
When you become a prisoner of war, after that I got shot down. There was no records. So when I got home, my VA doctor says, "So, Dean, were you ever injured?" I said, "Well, I had my eyes were injured, and I had to go to the hospital and have dugout, and he says, "Did you get the Purple Heart?" I said, "No." He says, "We're going to get the Purple Heart." He did.
Oh my gosh.
Dean, did I ask you a question? So you fought Italy. I mean, them days you went to Italy. But,
No.
Mussolini went with, Mussolini went against, the one with Hitler.
Yes.
And the Italians only fought one day.
Yeah.
And we lost, and we surrendered. And do you know why we lost? Do you have any idea? You should know why the Italians lost the war.
Because the Germans didn't like him, really.
No, that wasn't it. My grandfather told me, because my grandfather, I said, "Pop, how would we lose the war?" You know what he told me? When they were fighting on the troops, the front line, they're fighting, and we ran out of shells. So
Yeah.
General Antonio Endolini said to the troops, "Bring up the shells." And these guys brought up a box of Renzoni macaroni, and that's why we lost the war.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you're
sounds
just
good.
tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show.
That's it.
And you never know what to expect when you're listening to our show because we have all kinds of guests, including Dean Whitaker. It's so wonderful to have you here with us today. And Joy Doucette, and
Yeah,
of course
Joey.
Johnny Stewart and Chef Michael. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
I got the chills. I can't wait.
We are always featuring Chef Michael and his special recipes from South Philadelphia and interviews with Las Vegas's legendary performers, artists, authors, and celebrities, including Jon Stewart, creator, founder, and producer of Legends in Concert.
Thank you.
And they just recently celebrated their 31st year of
correct.
being around, and that's wonderful. That was on May the 5th.
Correct.
That's
You're
right.
great.
I know, I remember that.
No, Sandy and I talked
Well-
about that meatball cook-off. I like that idea, Sandy.
I know. We had Vince call in from New York the other day when Jolie was here, and he's one of his collectors, and he wants to challenge you to a meatball cook-off. So we've decided that we want to have a cook-off, and we're going to talk to Smith's Food King about sponsoring it over at Smith's Food King.
And it's Smith's Food and Drugs for her.
Well, that's okay. It used to be Smith's Food King. I grew up here in this town, and I know what it used to be.
They
so-
killed the king. It's just Smith's.
That's right.
And I'm also happy to say that the Salvation Army, because we need to do a commercial for them.
That's right. That's
The
right.
Salvation Army, and it's such a great honor. Okay, I'm glad you're here, my dear friend, the war hero, because the Salvation Army put our posters in all of their stores,
Great.
and for them to stand behind us. And I love all our sponsors. Don't get me wrong.
And they have a
it's
lot
your-
of great programs.
But the Salvation Army, to have them sponsoring Sandy Kastel, to me, is like having the Vatican, the Pope. I'm serious.
Well, Salvation
Stand behind
Army does a lot to help
love
the
them
community,
guys.
so they're a great organization. And we've had some great organizations on
Yes,
here
we
on the
have.
show already. Joey, you've been a dancer, you've designed lines, you're a producer. What is your next show that you're doing?
Well, the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to New York City.
Okay.
I'm working with Luigi and working on a new program for teaching dance. And
Oh,
it's going to be a certification program. And we're working on that, and we should have that up by August.
when you say certification program, you're going to be teaching the teachers, right?
Exactly.
How to teach.
Exactly.
Teachers how to teach. Right. So now, have you come up with a new technique, or is this just combining a lot of your experience and Luigi?
Well, it's combining the technique of Luigi and
Uh-huh.
being able to explain the philosophy behind it,
Mhm.
as well as the technique and the style. So we keep our jazz technique, because what has happened through our dance is jazz is disappearing. Our jazz style of dance is disappearing in this country.
Well, but we take jazz over there with Angelo. So you're saying that style is disappearing?
It's disappearing.
Why is that?
Well, there are a lot of contemporary dance now that you
Uh-huh.
see on So You Think You Can Dance. And
Right.
that's more in the forefront now, and jazz dance per se is getting lost.
But when you say contemporary, a lot of the dancers that are doing the dances on stage, and I mean on TV now, they're doing a lot of traditional dances too, though.
Well, it's more towards
But
the...
that's ballroom.
It's more ballroom.
Right,
It's, yeah,
which
it's
is
ballroom,
different than jazz.
modern, and, well, contemporary, which is modern, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for those of us who don't know, who's Luigi?
Luigi is, his name was Eugene Fasciuto, and Gene Kelly actually gave him his name, Luigi,
Ah.
because he was Italian, of course.
Yeah.
People look at me when they say that. Why? Am I stereotype or something?
A little.
Am I stereotype? What do you think?
Italian.
Admiral, what do you think? Am I stereotype or what?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And so Luigi is one of those guys that he came back from World War II,
Uh-huh.
and on the GI Bill went to Hollywood to go for his dance career. and danced with Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, and did a lot of movies. White Christmas is one of them. And then he devised his technique after a car accident. He was paralyzed from the neck down. And from that, he said, I want to dance. I'm never going to stop moving.
Oh my
Never stop
gosh.
moving.
Yeah.
So from the bed, he created this technique, and every day he would get up and keep working, and devised a technique of dance, of jazz dance.
Well, it's funny you should say that because my hands were broke. Somebody broke my hands. I didn't pay the bill, so bang, they got cracked. And I rolled meatballs, and I developed me rolling my meatballs. Sandy's believing this stuff. We got a caller, right?
We have a caller. Oh, okay. Who? Kaylani. Hi, Kaylani. How are you?
Kaylani.
Fine.
Hi, Kaylani.
How's everybody?
Good, good.
I have a question.
Okay.
For who?
That's Michael.
Oh, I
But
love
that's
you.
Michael.
I love you, Kaylani. You see, I feel so hurt here. No one, you know, if you guys don't call me, Sandy, I'm like pushed in the back.
But she's calling. She's
Well,
calling.
I'm just letting Kaylani know how you treat me. That's all. Go ahead, Kaylani. What could I do for you, my love?
Well, I want to know how to make an Italian dish, like chicken parmesan or like baked macaroni or something, like chicken panini. I really don't know.
Well, there's a million chicken dishes. But
You know that chicken dish that you made the other night was incredible.
Thank you. Okay, now you got a pencil and paper on you?
Hold on. Yes, I do.
Okay. You go to Smith Food King, Smith's Food and Drug. Okay, I'm always going to push them because they're our sponsor. And you go in the frozen department where they have the chicken. You buy the chicken thighs. Listen to me carefully. The thighs are phenomenal. The dark meat is great. Or you can use breast, or you can use legs. But I go with the chicken thighs. They're like $6.95. You get about 12 of them. You get yourself a pan. Put the chicken in the pan with the fat, with the skin, okay, facing on top. You add salt, a little bit of salt, pepper, parsley, granulated garlic, okay? You add sherry wine. Okay? You add lemon. You add lemon pepper, not lemon juice, but lemon pepper. And then you get yourself a couple chicken bouillons and put a quart of water in the pan. Cover the pan for 2 hours at 350 degrees, then uncover it for another 2. I'm telling you, Kaylani, the chicken you'll die. It is incredible. Then what you do is you take the chicken out, you got your juice, you got to tighten it up, and you get Wondra. Wondra, it's a flour-based mix. Wondra, it's not cornstarch, and it's not flour, but it's called Wondra. And then you put it in there, you sprinkle it, and with a whisk, you keep doing it till you tighten it up, and then you pour that over the chicken. You could also put potatoes. I made it last night. We had dinner in our home, and it was spectacular. It is so easy to make, and it's under a $10 dish, and you could feed 8 people. 8 people.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. Okay?
That'd be perfect.
Right. So, and what you do is you just go to leonettimarketing@gmail.com, and I will send you the recipe. And for calling in and asking, give us we got your phone number, we get your name, we're going to call you, give us your information, and we're going to send you some marvelous show tickets. And these tickets are very, very expensive, but this is one of the things that I give away for people who call. And like I said, if you get a chance and go on YouTube, just put in Shopping at Smith's, and you'll see Sandy and me doing our television show, and I make 5 dishes with 4 different spices: salt, pepper, parsley, garlic. Everybody, every nationality has that in their cupboard. And my cooking is the easiest way to go. So give that, it's called chicken lemon. Say that, Mahan, say chicken lemon.
It's called what?
Chicken lemon.
Chicken lemon.
Lemon. I just made that up. You sound pretty good. Are you from England?
Yes, I am.
I was born in Ipswich.
You were born where?
Ipswich.
Where's that?
It's in England. I was kidnapped by gypsy slaves. I was taken here to America by Italian people, and I was raised by Luigi and the dancer over here. And I'm dancing around somebody's hat. But I love you. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaylani,
Thank you,
for
Kaylani.
calling in.
Thank you. Love you guys
Okay.
too.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Bye.
See, we got calls from England and Germany and France.
That's right, from
Oh, I wanna
everybody.
go home.
Well, Joey, tell us a little bit more. Now, where can people find out about you if they want to find out about getting their costumes made? You do costumes for other shows. shows?
I do costumes for other shows.
Okay.
They can reach me through my phone number, 702-245-5455.
What was that, Joe?
702-245-5455.
Okay.
They can also find me on the website,
Okay.
Doucette Entertainment, DOUCETTE, entertainment, all one word, .com.
Okay, great.
Sandy, we need to
So,
use him for the
well,
show.
I know I want him to do some costumes for me, but I have to lose 20 pounds first.
Oh, no,
Or
absolutely
no,
not.
probably you can design a costume that would make me look 20 pounds lighter.
Exactly, look
Oh,
at that.
I love it, I love it. Well, listen, so Joey, if you were going to tell somebody just starting out in the business what the 3 best things they should do to be a dancer, a choreographer, or to produce a show, what would be the advice you would give them if they're just starting out in the industry?
Know the business.
Okay?
Have a business sense. It's not just about talent, it's about the business side of the entertainment. Because what happens a lot of times that we train as a dancer, we train all our life to dance.
Right.
But nobody tells us how to do the business of dancing.
That's right.
As well as singing, acting, designing costumes. Nobody tells us about the business side.
That's very important because with WEMA, that's what we discussed too, is the business of being an artist.
Exactly.
So what's number 2?
Number 2, make sure you get your training, good training, and ask people that have been there, people that have been in television, in movies, on the professional stage. Look for mentors.
That's good, mentoring. And then number 3,
Trust yourself. Trust in yourself. If you can, you can do it. Trust it.
that's great. I love that. That's wonderful. Well, we definitely have to get you to come be involved with our WEMA group.
Yes, you gotta come back, Joe.
Because we're going to have our WEMA event coming up June the 21st, which is a couple weeks, 3 weeks away from now. And we're going to have a lot of people
Cooking.
there. And we'd love to have you come and talk
Well,
and,
he's
and
cooking.
share your information. And of course, he's cooking.
That's the
cooking.
hook. That's why everybody
So, and if you want to find out more about WEMA, you can go to WEMAfoundation.org. That's WIMA Foundation.org. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. And come back right after a message from our sponsors. We've got Joey Doucette, a choreographer, dancer, producer, and also we have Dean Whitaker, one of the most celebrated servicemen held as a prisoner during World War II. And he's here getting ready to celebrate his 90th birthday. So we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
That's a lot of candles to blow out there, buddy.
Yeah, I don't try that.
Hi, and welcome back to the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. You know, I just want to send an apology out to some of our callers that are calling in. We can't take time to talk with everybody, but we really appreciate you calling in, and we are going to give you those tickets. So please leave us your phone number. We'll give you a call back. We'll get your address and we'll send them out to you. You know, Dean Whitaker is here with us in the studio today. And you know, Dean, you've been there's so much here. You've got this whole book here in front of me that I can't even go through all of it right now. But there's a rare picture that you found in the National Geographic magazine, and it shows your plane going down on November 2nd, 1944. And it says, "Notice the low clouds I entered when it became necessary for me to release my parachute hatch, where I exited the out-of-control plane." So you know, you've been honored. You've been held war prisoner. You've been put in these situations. What is the best way that we, as American citizens, can honor our war heroes?
I think by recognition. I wear this hat with my medals and stuff on it, the Air Force, and people see that hat and they thank me. And I thank them for recognizing that fact. So I think public recognition helps these veterans.
You know, I know there's a lot of veterans events that go on throughout the year, and we've been part of some of those events. I know that a lot of people are either raising funds for the veterans, or they're trying to get funding or housing, because we've got a lot of veterans that are homeless, you know, that are just out there that need help. And so we try to do our best, you know, to give back, to try to help them. What is it that you do? Are you out there speaking about this to different organizations and trying to get it known, you know, when we need help for the veterans?
Yes, there's different things that we do. The Air Force out here gives us recognition on various days. We have meetings out there with the officers, and on some days they have flyovers, and it's very keen. to have
So now,
that.
if somebody wants to have you speak at one of their events, is there a number or an email address or something that they can call or look up?
Yes, I've spoken to many schools, high schools and junior high schools.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I just finished one in Utah, and it started out as one of these classes was going to meet with us, and they heard that I was going to speak, and the whole school turned out.
Oh my
They
gosh.
were really interested.
Well, so how do
But
they
if
find out and find you though?
They could call me at 702-896-0439, and I'd be glad to send them this story of mine that I have
Okay.
printed if they want to read the
That's
full
this book
story.
right here?
Yes.
Yes.
I can send them that.
Okay. And then have you, Michael, I know Michael's chomping the bit here. What did you want to ask, Michael? I hear you.
No, I just wanted to say, I don't want to get off the beaten track, but I'm going to ask you just one question. Did you ever think the time would pass? You look in the mirror, you're 89 years old. Did you ever think the time would go by? You wake up one morning, me, I'm 62, I look in the mirror. I don't feel it, but I'm 62. I mean, do you ever feel, you look in the mirror and say, I'm 89 years old, and you look back at your life, you think that the time would ever just go by?
Yes, when I was a kid, 70 years was old, but now 80 is a normal. People living longer, enjoying life more, and I don't know why it is, but I do not feel 89.
You know, they say 90's the new 70.
Right.
Yeah.
And 60's the new, and the 60 is the new 21.
It's true, it's
Yeah.
true. I think, we are living longer. There's a lot more medical things that are taking, helping us to live
That's
longer.
right. Oh, yes.
And,
It's amazing.
and we're able to, I think what's really great for you and for us is that you are able to share your stories with the younger generation and to help them understand what it was you went through, and maybe some of the pride that we should all take, in our country, and remembering to honor all of those who fight for us on a day-to-day basis. They're still out there fighting for us, in different ways, and we need to remember and honor them in any way that we can.
That is right, because their sacrifices were pretty heavy in a lot of places.
Yes.
I'd like to tell you one thing that happened when I had to bail out, if I have a second.
That's what you have, is about 2 seconds. Go
Well,
ahead.
I was coming down my parachute
Okay.
after I bailed out, and they were shooting at me on my right side.
Okay.
Bullets were whizzing by, and on my left side was cheering. I heard cheering on my left side, and I looked down, and here's a group of soldiers in this camp, and it turned out that they were English prisoners of war that I just about landed in their camp, and they were cheering me because they were glad to see me.
Oh my
On
gosh.
the
Oh
other
my
side
gosh.
was the civilians that were shooting at me. Luckily, they were poor shots. But, 4 of us landed close enough to this prison camp for the guard to come out and save our lives. One of them was killed with a plane, of course, and on the other 4 landed too far away, and they were murdered by the German civilians.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dean, but thank you for sharing your stories here today on Sandy Kastel and Friends. Unfortunately, we have to go. We've run out of time. Tune in tomorrow morning for Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with John Stewart, with Chef Michael, and thank you so much again to Joey Doucette and Dean Whitaker for joining us here today. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah.
Recall